Welcome again to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I'm your host, Lionel McDonald. What a day last night was. So this is very raw. I've lost my voice a little bit, um, but you'll see when I get to the finish line what this one is about. So I came to Detroit to watch, as you can see, my Commanders against the Detroit Lions, number one seed, 15-2, second best record in the NFL, arguably one of or the best team in the NFL. My Commanders, led by Jaden Daniels, rookie QB, will be offensive rookie of the year, no question about that. Dan Quinn, didn't like him as a coach, thought it was a bad hire. Ultimately, poor coaching cost them a Super Bowl when he was in Atlanta, but he went to Dallas, brought a great staff along with him. Cliff Kingsbury was hired from college. Bobby Witt was on his Dallas staff. And then we look at Josh Harris and Magic Johnson, who are the new owners, took over from Dan Snyder, that literally had the worst culture of any franchise in the NFL. There was girls that were getting sexually assaulted. He's being dealt with by the public or by the courts right now, and also the public for that matter. So, and then we can't forget about Adam Peters, the mastermind behind all of the people moves, all the player moves that we've made to assemble a roster that still has cap room, that still has a lot of draft capital on top of the cap room. We have more cap space than any other team. And we have taken in one season, we've taken a 12 and, or sorry, excuse me, we've taken a 4-13 team and made them 12-5. So then last week, well, really, it was Sunday. It's technically not last week now, as I'm recording on Sunday, but we have now taken that team from 4 wins to 12. Now, it hasn't been easy. The last 6 wins have all come on the last player of the last possession. So it has been pretty special to see this run, but there's things that we believe in Commanders Nation. One is brotherhood, another one is belief, and also putting in the work to get yourself prepared to be successful on Sunday or Saturday or Thursday or Monday, whenever we play. So it is a special time. Now, I went to Tampa last week. Grandmother passed away, as many of you know. I've already put it on this podcast. My grandmother passed away. And when I was going to Tampa, not only to try and see her because she was in Orlando, it's an hour and a half away, but I also noticed that the Commanders, after everything shook out in week 18, that they were going to play in Tampa. So it was two for one shot. Go and see my grandmother. Go and see my Commanders play. We haven't won a playoff game in 19 years. And a lot of ups and downs, a lot of turmoil. But we got a chance to see Jaden Daniels at his very finest. And the whole experience was so fun. There were tons of Commanders fans because it's a cheap flight that traveled to the game. I came from Toronto, as all you know that I live in Toronto. There were people on the plane. We sung Hail to the Redskins on the plane. We went to a bar closest to our hotel because we couldn't check in because it was too early as we arrived at 10:15. We took over the bar. By the time the Bucks fans showed up to watch the game, the Commanders fans owned the bar. So Bucks fans were left. They had to go somewhere else or wait on the patio until we were done. So pretty amazing that all of these things happen. We go to the game. There's tailgating by Commanders fans. So again, pretty special time. Back and forth game. We are down. We get a turnover after going on fourth down. We get the turnover. We take the lead. They take it back. And then ultimately, we go down the field, 4-minute drive, say, hey, maybe a minute and a half will be left if we can get a field goal. Jaden Daniels and team, including an unbelievable fourth down, eat up the clock. And Zane Gonzalez has OCD. Feel bad for him, but he figures it out to be a professional. Found a way to kick the game-winning field goal, and Commanders win. He banked it off the upright, no less. So Commanders win. A lot of things happened during the week. Don't need to get into and drag. anyone into this, but all things ended up with some help and support. I made the trip to Detroit because that's where the Commanders were playing. I love Detroit. I've told many of you that Detroit is my favorite city. Between that and New York, I'll say right now, Detroit is my favorite city in the entire United States. So it ain't in Canada, Detroit would be number one. I went to the University of Windsor. I spent lots of time here. Um, I played football for the school at Windsor. So Detroit is like a second home. I literally came here the second weekend I lived in Windsor, and I've been a fan ever since. I've seen every sports team, I think, except for the Red Wings, which we may have to change that and see a Flyers game here. But got a chance to come to Detroit, see my Commanders play. Now the odds makers spread was 8.5. The Commanders found a way to be in this game. They believed, they stuck together, and there's an incredible brotherhood with this team. Last night's game was said by many is the best game we played all year. Created 4 turnovers, Quan Martin house call, Terry McLaurin, I can't remember, it's like 65 yards, breaks 3 tackles to take it to the house. I was in the concourse and I called the Zach Ertz touchdown exactly the route he would run when he went in motion. And Commanders won and put up, if you can believe, 31 points. It was 31-21 at the half. It ended up being 45-31 Commanders. We won by 2 touchdowns. We haven't beaten anyone. I want to say we haven't beat anyone in months by 2 touchdowns. I don't think it was till we played. Oh, it might have been the Carolina Panthers that we beat that bad. But it is amazing. 2 touchdown win, one of the best teams in the NFL, off to the NFC Championship game. Now it's not decided. 3 o'clock today, Eagles at home will play the Rams. Winner host the NFC Championship. So the Commanders are going to be on the road again. Tampa, Detroit, and then Philly or LA. So not sure who I feel. I don't really care. I'm happy that we're in the game. We can talk about it, but really it doesn't matter to me. But where I'm going with all of this and all this euphoria is I woke up this morning and just tired, but excited and happy. So I put on some music, and this is the theme of today's episode: the power of music and the power of hip hop. Hip hop is now a genre that is going to be in August 52 years old. It is incredible how music can energize you, music can inspire you, and music can make you feel better, uplift you. Like, just think about most people listen to music when they go to the gym, and probably to a certain extent, you perform better because you're listening to music. Music is impactful lyrically and how it can impact your mind, but it is also, it can impact your soul by the beat and the production. I was particularly listening to Gangstar, my favorite producer, DJ Premier. I had like the best of Gangstar, my list. So everything compilated from all of their albums on a list. It's like 40 songs long. And literally, I was tired. I was probably a little hungover, but I couldn't stop dancing. I couldn't stop dancing and smiling and the energy that it was bringing me. So this is a way I tied life together with the power of music. So think about how music can impact your life, how you can find your favorite artists, how if you're old head like me, you can be open to new artists that are coming out right now. Um, so I think there's a lot of impact that that music can have. And I'll tell you one artist specifically in the last 12 months that I don't think I ever would have listened to, but I opened my mind is Doechii. And her latest album that came out last year um, is absolutely creative and incredible nonetheless. And I highly recommend that many of you take the time to listen to a new artist and see what's up. Because I really think it can make an impact on you. And so I think the song that really caught my attention was Denial, A Denial is a River. And it's kind of like something that almost like I would say many other MCs have done. I think I first heard it, Big do it, when he played to two different people uh, on Ready to Die. But I think the song is Denial is a River. The album is called uh, Alligator Bites Never Heal. So shout out to Dochi. I think she's going to be an artist that we will pay more attention to. Now, she's an artist that has had count another album. I don't know if I even heard, and I have to go back to listen to her album in 2020, but her 2024 album, Alligator Bites Never Heal, is incredible. So I'll have to get into maybe 2024 albums that really impacted me on another date. But music, hip hop can really make a difference and impact you. I would say at the same time, how R&B, particularly um, New Jack Swing or Motown, can uplift the soul. Can I know that my grandmother passed away, and I know they were playing gospel and some other her favorite music, and I think it helped to soothe her soul and come to peace that she was going to pass. I know that people are healing or rehabbing, listening to music, and it can really just make a difference. I know my mom had dementia, and that's something that could she could feel. Um, and as she was in a retirement home, we would play some of her favorite music. Um, Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder. They're just people, it can make such a difference. So something I just wanted to put out in the universe. I'm still on a Commanders incredible high. Gave you a lot about the game, but I gave you about the power of music. So take a moment, listen to some music, lift up your Sunday, let it lead you into the rest of the week. This is Lionel McDonald out. Steve Robinson Live. Go Commanders. Off to LA or Philly. Final four of the NFL. Wildin' won 4 games last year. Now we won 12 and 2 playoff games. Unbelievable.